Hey, so it's 2020, and so that means, it's the beginning of a new year. It's always a good time to really start thinking about what you can do for your business. Everybody does it. It's a natural thing. So one thing I wanted to throw out here was a couple things you might want to think about if you're a trademark owner, and what can you do to make sure that you're getting the most out of your trademark, you're protecting yourself, and that you're really making sure that you're taking time to value what you have as a trademark owner. So I wanted to take you through just a few things. You can call them resolutions, goals, whatever you want to say about them. But let's talk about what we can do for 2020. So let's just see if I can find the right one here, and we're going to share that screen with you. Ooh, looks like I got the wrong one here, so bear with me for a second here. Oh no, I have the right one. My apologies. So here we have 2020. 2020. Let's talk about it. First thing I want you to do is, if you're a trademark owner, is consider going out there and taking your grabbing a folder. All you need is really a folder, paper folder or a document folder, whatever it might be, and start saving by year examples of how you're using your mark. So if it's a label on a shirt, take a picture of that, get it into a folder, a digital one or a paper one. If it's examples of advertising, take examples of that. If it's specific, if it's product packaging, boxes, anything that shows that you're offering the product for sale in commerce. And so take a look at that, start collecting that stuff, and you want to do that on a consistent basis. The reason for that is you don't want somebody coming around at a later point and saying, hey, you're not really using that mark. So let's give them some examples, and you can keep them in your folder as examples of how you are using the mark. It's a good thing to do. Next thing is you want to check for consistency. Are you using your mark the same way throughout? So if you have a word mark and it's 3 words and you sometimes substitute out in the middle. So let's say Kunkle Trademark and Legal. Now, there's lots of issues with that as a trademark, but let's say I used an ampersand instead of the word AND in the middle of there. Well, I want to go through and make sure I'm using that consistently, not only for trademark reasons, but also for just branding perspective. You want to make sure you're using things consistently. Similarly with designs or logos. If you're sometimes using it this way, sometimes using it that way, and there's always a little bit of a variation, you want to really evaluate whether that's something you want to do. And as a general rule, you want to keep your trademarks consistently in use in the same way, unless there's some reason not to. For example, color of the mark. If you registered a trademark with a specific color, then that's the color you want to use it with. If you didn't register with a specific color in mind, well, then go at it and use it however you want. But take a look at that, make sure you're using it consistently. Are you using the trademark symbol properly? Now, you only use that little circle R thing there if you are actually have a registered trademark. If you don't have a registered trademark, well, then you want to use that TM, the little TM symbol. And the reason for that is using the circle R is a legislative thing or a statutory thing, and it can get you in trouble if you use it improperly. If you want to then in the future register it and you haven't registered it, the fact that you have used that symbol could be used against you in the event somebody disputes your registration. So you want to make sure you're using it consistently. Similarly, if you're using, maybe including some text at the bottom of web pages or other marketing materials saying that trademarks are owned by such and such company, you want to make sure you're using that consistently as well. You also want to take a look around the company. Are there any unregistered marks that you think you should register? And so you want to do a little bit of an audit of your IP rights, specifically in the trademarks, and of other things, copyrights and things, patents and things like that as well. But specifically with the trademarks, you want to take a look around. Did you come up with some things in the prior year, and you need to consider whether you want to start using them now? And or more importantly, do you want to register them now? Has it gotten to the point where that's an important thing for you to do? So that's the next one. Look, you also want to take a look for competitors' marks. Sometimes in advertising and marketing, you let slip somebody else's mark gets in there because you're doing a comparison of some sort. So you want to really evaluate whether that comparison is appropriate. It might not be, and so you want to take a closer look at it and make sure you're doing a proper comparison and that you can substantiate the use of that mark in that way. So something to look for. Generally, a rule you want to talk to somebody about that if you are using a competitor's marketing and advertising. Just like you looked at whether the prior year, 2019, you started using some type of marks, you also want to look forward. Are you going to start a new product line this year? Is there something new you're going to do? So do you want to go ahead and jump on that for doing a future trademark or an intent to use trademark so that you can kind of grab that name ahead of time? Similarly, if you're looking to expand your market into other markets for international markets, is it the time to consider filing an international trademark? So something to look at. Looking forward, what goals do you have for your trademark portfolio? Then we have renewals. Now, if you registered with an attorney, the attorney often will keep track of your portfolio, but technically they're not attorney of record. They're not really associated with that registration. Their work is done once the registration issues. Now, attorneys, I do keep track of that, and I try to remind people when renewals are coming up. And renewals happen at various points between the 5th and the 6th year, the 10th and the 11th year, and the 20th year. And so on down the line. But you never know. You want to keep track of that on your own anyway, and have your own records of that. And maybe go back to that folder you started earlier on and make some notes in there. And just take a look. Is it time for you to renew? It's pretty handy if you look at the record at the USPTO, the full record, not the partial record. There's a little thing there that'll say maintenance or renewal requirements or something like that. You can take a look in there. It'll actually give you some of that additional data. So take a look at that. You want to look and see whether you have any renewals. If you have it through an attorney or somebody like myself and you think you're not sure about it, give us a call and we'll take a look at it and let you know. Finally, as I said, like I just said, call with any questions. If you have questions, you're looking to hire somebody, feel free to give me a call. I'd be glad to help. Thanks.